So this guy has no mechanical advance, and the vacuum advance is actually, the pod's not working. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find one of those or not. I'm going to go ahead and take the Dizzy apart and clean up the bits. See if I can get my weights to free up. This is apparently a 1 year only distributor. So if you have one, let me know, because I'm looking for one. This one's already been apart once with somebody. Let's see if these screws are going to come out, or if they're going to screw me. Well, how does that plate come out? Well, you're being stubborn. Come on, man, I'm gonna win. It's filthy inside. Apparently, they run a vacuum line into this cap so that it evacuates the ozone or whatever corrosive gases are created when the lightning is going around the twirler here. But you can see this guy's all corroded up, and my mechanical advance weights are also bound up, so I'm trying to get those out. I haven't quite figured out how to get this plate off yet. So that'll be the next trick, I guess. It had 2 bolts with plates holding it down. I'm going to guess it just pops out of there next. That guy's not wanting to release either. This may be a lesson in futility. I dropped some oil, some ATF down in here a couple days ago to see if stuff would free up, and that was not effective. I have to get this vacuum pod out to get that plate out, so one way or another this pod's going to come out. Hit it with a hammer. It's free. I feel like this pin is corroded and stuck. Yeah, and they only made these 1 year. Perfect. It's great.
Just went on down to our local Napa.
Oh my goodness, I got it to free up.
You know what you need? Angry Farmer penetrating spray.
Ooh, I didn't make that come out quite that fast. A little O-ring on there. Ooh, that guy's grindy. What do I got in my bag of tricks to get that guy out? It should just lift out now. Maybe. Let me mark that so I put it back in the same way.
Flex section from the flex section back is okay.
The flex section has been replaced, but it's also been cut and welded with a reduced size pipe, which isn't great. I mean, it's not like that engine makes tons of power, but
right. You could use a straw for the.
I'm pretty sure that is the slowest vehicle I've ever driven in my life. I think I could actually ride my bicycle faster. Hello there. That's the guy I was looking for. All right. Can you put a hand on this so I don't knock it on the floor? Almost dropped it. Gravity.
Nemesis. Take a drink.
I'm gonna polish this shaft so that it goes through the. Oh, there's no There's no bushing, it's just the aluminum housing. Okay, I'm definitely going to polish it.
It's just bush. It's just aluminum on aluminum.
Well, it's steel on aluminum. The hard will polish the... And I'm not feeling any burrs, but it's getting tight. So I think I'll polish it up real quick on the lathe if I can. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I'll just do it by hand.
It's okay. If you break it, we'll just get it out.
Right. Because they're readily available. There's all the grunk. Gross. Well, there's a bushing in it. Well, let's get this cleaned up. These weights are... That one's free. That one's free. But they just stick. I'm going to take this thing apart, clean it up. Let's see if I can get this stuff to move. That's got to come off so that can come off. Then we can clean all the sludge out of it. Come on, lady. There you are. Oh, you're all sludged up. Let's start with the solvent tank, then the vapor hone, and this thing will look like new. Alright, so that guy is all cleaned up. And now I will have mechanical advance. So I'm going to put some oil on my bits. Reassemble the body.
Put this thing on the rack real quick.
Ooh, that's got a ball bearing in it. It's got a bearing rack all the way around. Let's see if I can flush it out with some solvent, clean it up. Because this is the vacuum advance plate.
It looks rather notchy.
Yeah, it's kind of grindy.
Yeah,
it's kind of grindy. This guy's looking good. I can't do the vapor hone in that unless I take it apart, and I'm not sure I want to take that apart. So this guy turned out great. Get the water out of this thing.
I'll put this Civic on the rack.
How'd those guys find us?
I honestly don't know how they found us. I'm guessing they called, and to my knowledge, they called because they called the Toyota dealer and they said no.
Nope.
And then they called us and I said we'll try, and they were happy to hear that we would try.
That's probably true.
I think it'll be better than what it was. Can't make it any worse. I guess I can. I've done that before.
Yes, you can.
Sometimes you can make it worse. It's a dual stage advance. So it advances to there and then it gets faster and it advances to there. Neat. Neat. So let's clean up our housing. So our housing is pretty gross. We can clean that up real quick. You can see they used this stuff's hard as a rock. It was probably a grease, but it's now some sort of hardened booger. That's probably not going to lubricate very well. So we're going to clean this guy all out, and then we will put a little grease in there, drop of ATF, and we will put it back together. That's not great.
That's less than great, sir.
I would really like to take that apart and clean it better, but I don't think that's in the cards. I think I'm going to make a huge mess if I do that. While I'm wrapping her up, looks like I forgot to turn the cord on there for a little bit. Sorry about that. But she's all back together. The vacuum advance now is free. I don't know if my pod's any good, but I don't have access to replace it at the moment. But we can replace that with it on the car if we end up deciding we need to. She cleaned up pretty nice. Let's get her back on the engine. Snap. Good, I did it right. Delete. Now this guy sets my timing, so to adjust timing I actually have to loosen this guy and rotate my distributor. Let's put it back in the car and see how she works. Alright, my distributor's back in. If I install it correctly, it should fire up and run. We'll see if I'm that lucky. Gonna die. I bet it's a tooth off. So we'll make an adjustment to timing. What'd you do, Richard? Huh. I put this plug in there to plug one of the ports on the manifold, and it just fell out. Glad that happened here. My base time looks good. Idling at about 670. Isn't too bad. I have a vacuum secondary diaphragm to install on this, which I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'm going to take this thing out for a drive, and I'm going to guarantee that this thing drives better than it did now that it has some sort of vacuum and or mechanical advance. It's definitely all locked up inside, needed all cleaned up, restored, so to speak. Glad it all came apart. It all seems to have gone back together the way it needed to. There's my gravity taking effect. There's no gasket there. There's supposed to be a little gasket right there on the vacuum secondary, and it's not there. That'll make it hard to open. Let's see if I can put an O-ring in there. But I got an O-ring that'll fit that. A little spot of grease will make it defy gravity. We have a new vacuum diaphragm. This one feels alright, but I don't know how old it is, and neither does the owner, so we're going to change it. Oof. Oh my god, it's full of stuff. Spring looks good, diaphragm looks horrible. Get my rod orientation correct. What's going on?
Have fun?
Yeah, play with diaphragms. This time I'll put the spring in there.
Huh? Oh, you forgot. They tend to work better that way.
They tend to have a better return when you do that.
Hey, that looks more vacuumy.
Look at that, it works.
It holds vacuum.
Go figure.
Look at you fixing things.
Amazing.
We're general repair.
The general repair facility. We generally repair everything. All right. Let's go for a test drive. Awesome.
Time for the best part of the day?
Yep. Well, that does it for two for Toyota Tuesdays. This one drives so much better now that it actually has mechanical advance working and some other items that we took care of. It probably still needs some tweaking, but it's much better than when it came in. Send it down the line, figure out what we're going to do on it next. The customer will let us know. At any rate, thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, leave us a comment below. See you on the next one.